Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
What it do, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. Make sure that you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe. Make sure that you share the content and dive off in the live chat. Turn this plaque right here into a silver play button. The only way that can happen is if you could get all your friends and family to subscribe. Go through your whole house, snatch up everyone's phones, snatch up everyone's devices, and start logging in and subscribing to Rumboyz on all their shit. All right, run it up. Y'all already know what it is. Like, comment, subscribe. Hey, really quick, I do want to shout out my homies over at GLD. I am rocking the Commander's chain tonight. We are on a football podcast after all. We occasionally like to dip and dabble and talk about other sports. May or may not have a couple of Game 6 reactions to the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight simultaneously while we're doing this as well. But listen, we got to take y'all to the yacht. It's officially summer, which means you also need to make sure that you stay cool with GLD. Shop GLD, link down below. DM me for a special referral link. Let's go.
Hop out in Miami when I'm landing, got no understanding. How to hear I'm burning, or turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, girl, when you're not.
Also want to remind everyone that you can party with the Rumboyz live and in person this year at the Fantasy Football Expo. Again, that is the Fantasy Football Expo, the ffexpo.com. Make sure you guys head on over there and show some love. Big shout out to Bob Lung. Also, the consistency guide is on sale. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this thing moving. Step it up to the plate, like my Dodgers, top of top of the MLB, top five. This man is top five. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop the mic, FF.
What is up? What it do? Do you know the new way to shine your boots?
Say something. What? God damn it.
Put a hot tool on it and shine those boots.
He did not just do that. He did not. I was going to wait till at least this one. I was going to wait. When a roster is so fire, you're just sitting back looking at it. You sometimes just got to throw a little spit on that thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this thing moving. This man has not been on Rumboyz After Dark in a hot minute, so this is going to be very, very interesting to see how.
And with us back to back,
with you guys batting back to back in the batting order. Stepping up next to the plate, Gator J.
What is up? I ain't got no hot toys, so we ain't shining boots. We ain't shining shit up in this motherfucker tonight.
Oh, hey,
well, we gonna get real.
Hey, my man Gator said he is standing on business.
Yes, sir.
He is standing on business. Yo,
What
see,
is
y'all
up, fellas? What is up? It's
y'all
been
keep
a
saying
minute.
It's just gonna volley it to me all night.
Yeah, I mean,
Ladies and gentlemen, this man.
Hi, Gator.
I hope that this man is doing better than his basketball franchise, as they have traded for a predator. You can't get it.
Oh, come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Gillespie.
Get it.
We just had to drop a reference to basically, I mean, most likely to be Chris Hansen's finest, that's joining our team right now. You really had, this means war. This means war at this point, Robbie. You and me going toe to toe, pay-per-view and everything,
Hey, hopefully it's going to be a better pay-per-view than Mike Perry knocking Jake Paul's ass out, which we may or may not touch on later. This is a sports show after all. We do have one more cast member behind the scenes. Yes, we have to. This man is going to stress you guys out more than Landon Donovan's fucking hairline. And ladies and gentlemen,
oh my God, jeez,
that is no other than TDS Taco.
Oh my God, that shit looks like the Commander season last year. Just absolutely terrible.
oh my God.
I heard that he said that he had the transplant surgery and he was told that it wasn't going to show up on TV. So I don't know who advised him, but it's horrible.
That looks like someone fucked with him in his sleep, and shaved his head like that.
Bosley.
That's some shit. That's some shit Gillespie would do to fucking Rumboyz, Robbie.
I'll say this: that hair was still not worse than the deal that the Bulls pulled. Listen, R. Kelly Jr. over there.
Oh shit! Where you live now, Taco? Where you live now?
Was it R. Kelly from Chicago?
He was from Chicago.
That's all I'm saying.
You just had to bring up a sore subject, and now Taco, this means war against you. Where are you living?
Listen, I don't see nothing wrong.
Long Island.
Hey, fellas, y'all know how it goes. All right, before we can get into the dirty work here on this show, which that is analyzing all of what is the NFL, we do have to make sure it's a Friday night. This is how we do it. It's Friday night. We got to make sure we do our ceremonious cheers.
Yes, this is my shot glass tonight.
Lise, what's up? Oh, look, see, Gator making sure that he is also simultaneously in the chat. Daniel, what's good? What's good? Aiden, what's up? Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, we also got Treat over on Twitch. Eric up in the chat. Boys, let's go ahead and do this. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz boys and girls want to do dilly.
Hey, dilly.
Friday night, baby. Friday night.
This is gonna be my.
What you sipping on there, buddy?
There's an obvious no-brainer.
There is Milo sweet tea up to here, and the rest is whiskey.
Oh shit!
Oh, so you just put the whiskey in there for flavor. Okay.
Hey, no, he saw the promos I was dropping today. He was like, yo.
Robbie, most people would fill a cup with whiskey and then just put, whatever they're gonna top it with for coloring. What he did,
like splash,
splash of whiskey. Whiskey to say it's a fucking alcoholic drink.
No, that's 5 shots. That's 5 shots of whiskey.
Yeah, bullshit. Five shots.
Look, Mike is a lightweight.
He's in California.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it, buddy.
Hey, this is the thing. It's only 6:17. I gotta be able to be drinking at 11 tonight.
And Mike's a lightweight. Allegedly. So it's gonna hit him double.
I told Robbie earlier I've been drinking since like 4:00 this afternoon, and it's already 9. So I don't know what kind of shit is going to come out of my mouth. It's just going to happen.
Oh yeah, no.
I got home at 5:50.
This is going to become a weekly AA meeting. It's going to be
AA. This is
AA.
Alcohol.
All right, go.
An absolute must.
Exactly.
Rumboyz AA After Dark.
Let's get into this show. All right.
Are we talking?
Yep. We are talking sports, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking football. We are going to start off with our cover athlete of the night. Shout out to our very own Drop the Mic for the graphics. San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk posted a cryptic message to his TikTok account stating, "They don't want me no more." I'm on FaceTime with a former teammate of his. You know what? Fuck it, guys. Let's just go ahead and let's just take a look at this together.
Bro, look in the cam, bro. Look at the cam.
He got me vlogging this shit.
Bro, what? What happened, bro? They said they don't want me back. I swear.
Oh my.
Alrighty, so obviously, shout out to Brandon Ayuk's TikTok account, and then also my ability to just go ahead and just shamelessly steal that from his account. Ayuk, don't come at me, don't come at us, boys. How are we feeling about this one? We see there that he's talking about Jaden Daniels' reaction to Mama.
Yeah, I love the mom at the end. That was great.
Yeah, I love that part. That's a soundbite within itself. Mike, take us away.
So me and you talked about this like before this even came out, and I told you, and I think I even told Gator one time that I don't think both Debo after 2024 because of the draft and everything else. I didn't think that Debo and Ayuk would be on the team together. I did think there was a chance that it was going to be Debo that was going to be the odd man out. I changed my mind. Ayuk is going to be the odd man out. They're going to keep Debo. It's just a matter of where Ayuk goes. Ayuk's going to get paid. Ayuk's going to deserve what he gets paid. If you use the person in the bottom corner from New York's point of view, he's going to get paid too much because the guy in the bottom doesn't believe in the next man up. So Ayuk is going to get paid more just because he's going to get paid more. So he's going to get more than he might be worth. But guess what? Someone's going to be willing to pay it, and he's going to get it.
Okay. Gator, before we get into your take, shout out to Edmonton being up 2-1 right now. We could be going into it, which means that we could be doing hockey picks by the time we get at the end of this podcast.
Boo!
Gator, take it away. Your take.
Brandon Ayuk is a top 15, top 12 wide receiver in the league right now. I don't think it's cryptic. I don't. I think this is an agent sitting there going, hey, put this out there now, so that you're going to force, I'm going to try to force, the 49ers to do something crazy. The difference is John Lynch, man. John Lynch isn't going to do something stupid. He's not going to overpay. They didn't go out there and draft wide receivers for this reason. They drafted wide receivers so they can sit there and go, if you're going to walk, and I'm not gonna pay you the amount of money.
Today. Ricky did get paid today. Ricky signed his rookie deal today.
Damn right. Damn right.
Yep, that's right.
But when you look at the overall, Mike brought up Debo's contract is not super crazy. It's not.
No.
So it's not like they don't have room to put Ayuk on here. They can. The other side of that is, which I haven't looked at, I gotta see what CMC's getting paid over the next 2 to 3 years. Like, I know in that trade there was an extension in there. So what is that? Where is that money at? Right? Is there room there for them to add Ayuk into it? Because you still have 3 years left or 2 years left with Brock Purdy that they don't have to pay him, and they can sit there and franchise him all day.
24 cap hit for CMC is 6.7. 25 is 9.9. 26.
So there's room. There's room.
So 26 and 27 is where it goes to 12, and then 27 is 29 mil.
This is a ploy. This is 100, in my opinion, it is 100% a ploy by Ayuk's agent to get him absolutely paid with the contracts that we've seen over the last couple weeks with these wide receivers.
Okay,
that's what it is. I don't think it's anything more than that.
I don't know if it's that due to the mere fact that this is different than T. Higgins' situation. The 49ers situation is, as an organization, the way they typically handle situations is different than the way that Cincinnati handled their situation. Yeah, okay, maybe, well, did they already tag him? I mean, like he's pretty much, he's out of there, or they're going to have to fork up the costs around that Amon Brown market, so on and so forth. What the fuck is wrong?
Like, did Taco take some Quaaludes before the fucking show? What is he doing?
Are you good?
Yeah,
are
like,
you good?
Why are you moving around like a fucking giraffe right now?
I'm just getting ready for my take. I'm just keeping it all in, man. Rolling the Nick around.
So that's just one of the things that I kind of worry about. David, your take. God damn it.
I love I just want to say I love the video, and I couldn't help but think, like, I couldn't help but want Jaden Daniels. Do you guys remember that one video to can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, you're freezing up. What are you doing? Your shitty fucking Seattle internet.
If this motherfucking taco would stop moving, the internet would be fine.
Yeah,
exactly.
My movements can move the internet. Talk about God status, baby.
Oh, fucking Christ.
From New York to Seattle, like that. Oh, you saw that? You saw that? Somebody get this man at me.
Oh, Lord. We don't need to make this guy's head any bigger than it already is.
That's what she said.
Oh my god. All right.
David, hurry up and talk to get Taco to shut up.
Okay.
Please.
No, watching that video, it made me think of that one. Have you guys seen that one meme of the guy looking at the dog on the other side of the glass, like, yo, I'm going to get you out somehow. Some way, somehow, I'm about to get you out of here. Like, I just wanted Jaden Daniels to kind of say that to Brandon Ayuk, because I do believe he's a little bit trapped right now,
Well, we also have the cap space. Like, we have
No. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
no, that's not
stop.
true.
Stop.
That's
You're
not
not
true.
getting him.
Right now, the 49ers, in 2025, next year, the 49ers are about to be $37 million in the hole. Okay. So they got to get out of that, and they got to still pay Brock Purdy. And I know you guys say, well, you got a couple years before you have to pay Brock Purdy, but guys get pissy when they don't get their contract sooner rather than later. Like, they usually try to do it before their last year of their deal when it comes to quarterbacks. And we just saw that with Trevor Lawrence, for instance. They did it super early. I would imagine if Brock Purdy continues to play at the high level that he's playing at, they're going to want to get this shit done like ASAP, and the thing is, Brandon Ayuk might be a casualty of the lack of cap space, because they've already paid guys, like we said, with Deebo Samuel, with George Kittle, and with Christian McCaffrey, and soon it's going to be Brock Purdy. So that's the thing that sucks about having a lot of stars in a team, is like, there ain't enough fucking money around here to compensate all these guys,
Exactly. And I think that's a bigger deal. That's a bigger point there. A broader point is, like, you still got to pay, Brock.
Exactly. And here's where I think he'll end up going, though.
CMC an extension, so CMC's money is there. Like, you got to make sure that you take care of your rookies. Then you got to still keep your defense intact, especially like you're trying to still make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Where do you think
exactly.
he's going, David?
Yeah,
yes,
and
let's get there.
Where do I think he's going? If he were to go, and it's unfortunate because he was the second highest graded receiver in the league last year. He was an intermediate machine, especially down the middle, running slants and post routes. He was absolute money. If I had to say where he's going to go, I would predict, call me crazy, the Green Bay fucking Packers. Okay?
Fuck.
And then we
Hell no.
You're crazy.
No.
Hell
Christian
no.
Watson.
You're definitely
Watson
crazy, because then you're
deal.
also imposing that on your own team.
I hate it. It's scary, and I'm shitting my pants as we speak thinking about it. But I do think it's a possibility, because listen, hear this out too. Christian Watson be a part of that package, because I know they like Christian Watson, but Christian Watson is, even when he's been healthy, and he's not been all that healthy, has been somewhat of a project. So you
No.
package him in a deal. Maybe you throw in a draft pick.
No.
Brandon Ayuk immediately becomes possibly wide receiver 1 in a very young wide receiver cast that kind of needs someone to emerge as a wide receiver 1. I
But
could
they
see it
don't.
happening, man. They have a
But
ton
they
of cap
don't.
space.
They literally don't. Like I'm
What are you
sorry.
talking? Yes, they do
I'm
have
sorry.
cap space.
I'm sorry that the way that team is that team's offense is ran and orchestrated. That's why they're going to sweep your fucking Bears this year. They don't need to add any extra pieces.
Brandon Ayuk would be an
gonna be
immediate
honest
upgrade
with you.
to any of those
And
guys. It would be an
and
immediate upgrade.
then also to complete that sweep, they don't need Watson for either of those games.
But Robbie, it's not even about winning the division and sweeping us. It's about going for the Super Bowl, which is what the Packers are trying to do.
It's also when did the Packers make big moves like that? When did the Packers pay big players like that, big time playmakers?
They'll make bold moves. It's a bold move. They trade away Devontae Adams, which is bold. You know,
that's also, but that's kind of, hey, we're cleaning house. Hey, we need to get.
But it was bold, and look at how it turned out, because this is like the second coming of fucking the prophet under center now.
Aaron Rodgers was exactly. They're gonna do the exact same thing, so they're gonna stick with their guys. They're gonna be traditional.
I don't know about that, but okay, you say so.
The Packers landing spot was a fucking bum ass tape.
Get out of here.
Not as bum ass.
Taco.
Oh my god.
Hang on, Taco. Because I think there's actually a sneaky team, and I say sneaky, and it would be disgusting when it comes to fantasy.
Oh, don't take my take before I take it. Because I can give you. There you go, right there, Bills. That's amazing. Take
No. Fuck the Bills. Fuck them.
But now they flipped the script though. Myth Carrion. That's what, or Myth Kyron, or however you say name.
When you look at who has the available cap over the next 3 to 5 years. The freaking Patriots are sitting there.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that they could or would, but they could.
No, I think they would.
It's the Patriots that would. And now the Commanders are up there.
You know who needs that more?
Whatever. Fuck them.
The Jaguars desperately need that more.
You
need
the
to prove that
too.
Trevor Lawrence is worth it.
Steelers or Ravens, I think, are possibilities too.
Taco, let's get into your take, because I already sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the question is, how much can you invest into your offense that's not a quarterback? Like the number one premium position in the game, you're making sure you invest everywhere else. You got Trent Williams paying big money. You got Deebo Samuels, you're paying big money. You got Christian McCaffrey. You never go to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl with the running back being the highest paid player and having the highest paid. Running backs are a dime a dozen, but we're paying him all this money. So eventually, at some point in a salary cap sport, you can't pay everyone. That's the point of the salary cap. Yeah. And you just can't pay Ayuk. Now, their best bet is to trade him and get some value so that down the road, you can then make other moves. You have guys that you drafted later on, and this is where not hitting on some of your other picks and trading all of those assets to get Trey Lance now puts you in a position where you need to thread the needle. You need to figure out, well, how do I put together a defense and make sure I'm able to stop Patrick Mahomes and be able to outscore him? Because guess what? You didn't do either. You didn't stop him when you had the chance, and you couldn't score enough to beat him. So guess what? You run back the same team and you lose. You're maxing out. And guess what? The time is ticking on Purdy. Purdy can't be there forever at that cap rate. So guess what? You better strike while the iron's hot, and you better get yourself some assets and hope that your wide receiver room can develop and you can get some of these other guys at a good price to compensate for using a CMC, for using the money on Kittle, for getting Trent Williams, for putting the money in Debo, because now you need to find some value pieces on this offense. You can't pay all Porsches all around the house, and then you're going to the supermarket in a Porsche and your shit's getting dinged up when you should have been taking the Toyota Camry. You need some guy to fill in. Get yourself a nice little vet who could run those routes, help fill in there, and spend your money to make sure that your defensive players and that defensive line is able to stand up and be able to get some shit done versus the Chiefs, because you ain't winning no Super Bowls like this. You're just not. You already lost it, and now you have to spend more money to pay for everyone. So guess what? Your window is closing very fast, and Purdy's going to be due up soon. So guess what? Don't fuck this shit up. You got maybe another year. Run it back with Ayuk and say, this is our last shot. Let's blow the load and let him go.
Taco out here speaking like he's at a fucking political rally. I love it.
Yeah, no Diddy.
Taco
No
2024.
Oh, can I point out one quick note real quick that you guys will find this interesting? This is what Brandon Ayuk wants. $28 million a year over the first 3 years in his deal, whatever that may be, which is similar to what Amon-Ra wants, or what Amon-Ra got, excuse me. That's what he wants. That's a lot to take in. Just want to keep that in mind, you know?
That's definitely something to keep in mind. Look, for me, I am gonna lean into the whole TikTok a little bit.
Of course you are. It's your quarterback.
You called it, that. I mean, it's also, if you want to be technical, it's also his quarterback too.
We have entered this.
Yeah, that was 36 years ago. That was 36 years ago that they were friends.
3 teams ago.
Hey, in the words of Terrell.
Well, for Brandon Ayuk, it was 12 teams ago for fucking Jaden Daniels.
That's not quarterback. Stop it, knock it off. All right. Look. I am gonna lean into the TikTok a lot here. Called Jaden for a reason. All right. And what I think that reason is because reunited and it feels so good.
My point exactly.
You want to reunite with your other QB. You've already gone through the QB carousel with San Fran. There's money over there. You still get to kind of, put up one like numbers, but then still be like a 1A because McLaurin is there. Mm-hmm. McLaurin, Ayuk, oh my gosh, that's a match made in heaven now. Granted, that definitely damages the two running backs that are back there from a fantasy football standpoint. Should the Commanders get Ayuk and then also have McLaurin, obviously this now becomes more of a passing attack, and you can probably kiss your Brian Robinson or Austin Eckler shares. One of the two. One of them will be effective, but one of the two is going to be a fucking gamble for real at that point. That aside, I like it. I think it's a match made in heaven. Come over here, get paid, reunite with Jaden Daniels, who, you're already familiar with. I love the move. Look, you drafted 2 wide receivers with the hopes that one of them are going to fucking hit. You drafted Pearsall and Cowie, both that have incredible fucking skill sets. You did that for a reason, and you did that possibly in the event that, like Taco did mention, I can't believe that we're going to give that we are going to give Taco at
least once a show
take right now.
Hey,
all right. You spat on the thing. No Diddy. All right.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was loosening the neck. I knew I had what I had coming, baby. I was getting ready like a box.
Watch this poor girl's neighbors see this video and then oh my God, that's youth leader Abby out here talking about polishing some dude's pole.
Imagine her ex-boyfriend that was getting the booty calls. The ex-boyfriend that was getting the booty calls is about to get denied because she's about to get every other dude in the inbox.
I'm sorry, the preliminary process of polishing, I should say.
No. For real though. All jokes aside, I do think that he is on the move.
Dan Quinn ain't gonna let that happen, dude. I'm sorry. Dan Quinn is a defensive guy. He ain't going there. He ain't doing it. It's not
just Dan Quinn either.
Listen, with all the issues that Washington,
Dan Quinn ain't Peters.
With all the issues that Washington has had at head coach and ownership, Dan Quinn has those reins, and he is not letting go, and he's not gonna do that. He's not doing that.
Adam Peters has the reins.
Okay.
Dan Quinn is going to do one thing and one thing. Sit your little ass over on the sideline and coach, boy. And that's exactly
Dan Quinn is an alpha dude, and he's not walking into a situation where he can't be the alpha dude.
And Rob,
he had it in Atlanta.
Alpha play calling.
Yeah. Add to what Gator's saying. Do you think the Commanders are writing off Jahan Dotson at this point?
Exactly my point. They've got that wide receiver there. If you're writing off Jahan Dotson,
it's early.
It's too early for that.
I mean,
I could see them. I could see that because Peters being the GM, because
they're in a different cap space. GM,
that is why I see it. That is exactly why I see it. If It was fucking Bruce Allen's little stupid dumbass.
Commanders fans just
All right.
want it all, David. Commanders fans just want it all.
Oh,
They want
yeah.
Tom
No,
Brady
it's
to
a
come
different
back and fucking
regime.
Gronk
This
coming
man
to
moves
Commanders.
different.
They're all coming. They're all coming to Washington. It's like
Peters is moving
it's
different.
political.
Peter
It's a
is
political
making
fucking
solid,
group session.
equitable
Let's go.
deals while still getting guys paid. Like, imagine her ex is thinking, wait, she does that every
And then they realize,
when
oh
did
wait,
you
we
start
play
doing
in.
that?
Then they realize, oh wait, we play in fucking Virginia. Oh
You
fuck,
told
we're
me
gonna
you
pay
don't like
taxes
that.
there.
All Commanders fans look at every possible free agent as like some Watergate type of shit. They're like, we can get in, grab them, get out. Okay, we're good to go. You know,
Man,
we did it with Albert Hainsworth. We can
I wouldn't be mad if the Giants going got him.
who I'm pretty sure invented quiet quitting. I'm pretty sure it was Albert Hainsworth of all fucking people.
No, Albert Hainsworth.
I think Randy Moss did
Albert
that one off
Hainsworth
first.
invented hot too.
Hell no. Hell no. Paul,
He was
that's
getting
you.
more. Yeah, he was getting his dick sucked definitely more than sacks. I would bet. He was
God
fucking around.
damn it.
Yes.
Anyway.
My man out there
Big
looking like
fact.
Diddy.
We can.
Anyway.
I guarantee you, we can throw a poll up, and I don't know how many would vote, but we
Whoa,
can throw a
whoa,
poll up
whoa,
for
no
Congress.
throwing
and
a
they
He
would
was
do it.
fucking around, man.
We're
Yeah,
not
they
throwing
would do
polls
it.
here.
They would do it.
Let's get into the next topic, gentlemen. This one's actually interesting. This
last one
next
wasn't?
topic here. This next topic here is actually pretty interesting. And I'm gonna start this one off with a quote. All right.
Oh no.
Shout out to Pellisario. This is coming from Pellisario, straight from the news, not from me. There has certainly been discussion within the league among certain owners about even the idea of a quarterback cap. That at some point you don't want quarterbacks' numbers to go over a certain percentage of your salary cap. Pellisario said via the Rich Eisen show. Could something like this work out? The NFL has tried something of the sort called the quarterback club. It was a little bit different. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I mean, maybe it's a separate cap, or like how could this work out? Talk about
I love this. This is a great question, by the way.
But like, I don't understand how you can have a separate cap for the quarterback when everyone's going to have different scales. Some are going to be on rookie contracts. Where does that mean then when a quarterback rookie gets drafted, he's going to be put on a different pay scale? Because technically, you get paid based on where you're drafted. So then that's kind of a loophole throughout this whole cap thing. Because if I'm drafting a rookie and you're getting like $50 million in cap space for a quarterback, and I'm not using it, how does that either help me or hurt me? Like, am I sitting there getting screwed because I have a rookie and you're getting a $50 million extra that you could spend on your team? Or I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna go sign a veteran and really just max out my room. Or is it a situation where then I get extra space that I can spend it somewhere else now and then take advantage of a rookie deal? I feel like it takes it already overemphasizes the most important position. And I think it makes it even more of a competitive disadvantage than when guys like Mahomes say, yeah, I'll take a long deal for a lot of base money, but my AAV will keep me under guys that like Trevor Lawrence, where you got fucking guys like Trevor Lawrence making more money per year than a guy like Mahomes. And we can say, we're going to fuck the system. You're going to spend more money on Trevor Lawrence. And we got a much better quarterback now that's going to take less money like Tom Brady and all these other guys did so he can get some more rings because he's going to make it up in endorsements. So I think there's just too many loopholes that you can create by doing this. I prefer them just to continue to raise the cap and let the teams do it and dismiss it as they want.
Well, Taco, it's the irony in this too is like last week, on last week's episode, we discussed Brady and kind of like the mentality that he was preaching, about, team before, and maybe part of how he's the psychology behind how he's doing that is because, these kids are growing up in a society where it's, player, because of NIL and such. So and I find the irony of this news coming out this week, just within a breath of a couple of days, kind of interesting. because maybe this the NFL saying, okay, we understand what you're saying and why you're preaching this message. Maybe this is the way that they can divert it. I don't know if it'll work, and maybe how you're saying, David, your take.
I don't think the quarterbacks are going to like this at all. Now they could employ something like this, where it's similar to like the NBA, where they do the super max and the max deals, and you can only get a certain percentage of the salary, which they have a looser salary cap. It's not a hard cap, because they fluctuate, they flirt with the luxury tax and all of that in the NBA. I don't know. From what I'm reading too, what Tom Pelissero was saying is that they're not really thinking about it right now. The owners aren't, because a lot of the quarterbacks have gotten paid already. So it's like, this is a future fucking long distance type of goal or endeavor that they have in mind. Like, it's not something that happens, but I don't think the quarterbacks will like this one fucking bit. Like, I think that they might even riot. They might even storm the NFL headquarters, that, their capital with, it's going to be rough, with their version of the QAnon shaman. It'll be called the QAnon shaman.
The goddamn commissioner's office, David. What the hell?
Can you imagine 32 NFL quarterbacks
31
on Fifth Avenue?
31.
And they've got, instead of the QAnon shaman, they've got the QBanon shaman who's leading the crew.
Mark Taylor Green's gonna jump in there.
Oh God, I'm going to help
like I told you this was coming. God, they can't steal the salary cap from us. He's like,
oh my God. My God.
Hey,
the boys
never be able to fucking take over podcast, because this is like,
there's only 31 of us. The 32nd couldn't come. He's in Washington. Fuck it, we're doing it.
God,
he's an inside man, he's already in the Capitol,
We call him Denzel.
Before we get into Gator's take, I do want to elaborate, because there was something that you mentioned about, how most of the guys have gotten paid, so on and so forth. The top 11 contracts in the NFL based on total money belong to quarterbacks. That's via Sport Track. Okay, it's not me pulling anything out of my ass. All right,
like normal.
All right, source. I didn't fucking say it. The top 16 NFL contracts in average annual salary are all quarterbacks, and the top 12 contracts in terms of practical guaranteed money are all quarterbacks as well. So that's, and I know that you were saying, hey, maybe it's not a big deal, but owners are saying that this is an escalating issue that they are bringing forward. So, looking at those numbers, Gator, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very touchy subject, because I think every single one of us and everybody, in whether it's NFL or fantasy or however we consume the sport, is all about get your money, right? But when you look at it from an owner's perspective, it's what, 13 to 20%, somewhere in that range is where they like to have their quarterback. When you look at, like you just brought up, you've got 11 of the top 15 is all quarterbacks. But think about this. Mm-hmm. Since 2018, and we're only talking, 7 years or so, Matt Ryan is the first dude to get a $30 million AAV. Since that time, there have been 14 quarterbacks to get an average or an AAV of 30 million or more. It's insane.
Yeah.
Who's one of those guys?
It's only going up. It's going to continue.
It's only going to go up. But the problem is it's not the player's fault. So there is no sin. There is no cap on it. It's the owners. It's us as a consumer. It's the broadcast. What they're paying in. It's just like going to the store and buying a fucking car right now.
Yeah.
Right. There's no difference from a 2020 car, other than a little bit of technology from from 2024 to 2020. It's only 4 years of difference in car. The reason people are paying the $70,000 price for a car that you could have bought in 2020, the exact same car, is because somebody will pay that price. That's why the consumer, or that's why the builder is.
Peter, I got a perfect analogy for you. It's like getting Daniel Jones at Trevor Lawrence money.
You want to bring that up again? Okay.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Daniel Jones is the 2020 car. Trevor Lawrence is the 2024 car.
So
fucking Taco and his goddamn. I gotta have this. I gotta have this. I gotta have Daniel Jones.
It makes sense.
But here's the problem. Here is the problem. Like I said a minute ago, owners look at it as a 15 to 20% of their total salary, right? When you look at these top 11, the Joe Burrows, the Josh Allens, the Justin Herberts, the Lamar Jacksons, the Patrick Mahomes, the Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray's, Dak Prescott's, the Trevor Lawrence's, Jared Goff's, these guys are all above that 20% mark.
Yeah.
Of the total team salary. And you're not talking about just at the 20% mark. You're talking about 23, 24, 25% of a team's salary is going to one player.
It's crazy.
Yes, it's absolutely fucking insane. But it's worth it.
Yeah.
The players make the money when they can make the money.
Exactly. And that's where well, I'll wait till my turn to voice exactly which side I'm on, but this is why we're having this discussion. Absolutely.
Can I ask one quick question? Not to steer the conversation too much, but I just wanted to ask, do you think we'll ever get to a point, because so many players that are coming to the league, including quarterbacks or wide receivers or whatever, are coming in NFL ready? Like they're already making an impact instantaneously.
Are
they? Like Jamar
Chase,
Chase, Joe Burrow.
That's not so many. Stop. That is not so many.
I can keep going, but I'm not going to.
I know, but I know where you're going, and it's not that many.
Do you but do you think we'll ever get to a point? I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon, where they're going to just start drafting guys, and then once their rookie deals are done, they're just going to redraft and address the position later on.
It's already happening.
It's already happening.
It's already happening.
It's already happening. I'm talking even for quarterbacks.
Yes, yes.
For an elite guy, they're like, you're great.
Chicago your team just did this.
Just did it.
I wouldn't say it's quite the same.
Justin
situation.
Fields still had a 5th-year option.
He did.
And y'all sent him away for a 6th-round pick.
I wanted to keep him, but a lot of people
that's what
didn't.
I'm saying, though. No.
A lot of people did not, though. They didn't think he was proven.
It's still the exact same dynamic.
But that's the dynamic of it.
Let me build
that's what it is.
Really quick. We're going to get into the Mike's take, but before getting into Mike's take, I just want to say, hey, what's up, Rachel? Aiden says whole time our whole thing is that every year there's going to be a new highest paid QB, and that contract for 3 to 4 years ago looks so much better. Being a backup QB is the best job in the world, man.
Wow.
Shout out
Blue Mountain State, and you'll get that.
Yeah. Blue Mountain State is such a great show. I'm excited for it to come back. Tree, shout out to you holding it down over on Twitch. Mac Jones out here having the best time of his life post New England. And then Myth with a question here. So that's a real question. Would you rather have the 16th best QB than the best non-QB? Not necessarily that the 16th best QB is better, but they are more important to building a team. Still being paid $7 million to do that thing.
I mean, it depends on if you're playing best ball, if you're playing Dynasty, right?
Okay, so a lot's been said about should there be a cap. I'm going to actually build upon what David brought up. Is it going to happen with QBs? We had that exact conversation last offseason that if Purdy didn't live up to it, they were going to do the same thing in San Francisco. So, yes, it's good. I mean, we all agree that could happen, that they would just re-roll their dice. So, yeah, it's eventually going to happen. It's just the fact that Purdy has lived up to it. But who's to say that they will pay up Purdy? I think they will, but you never know.
Yeah.
Lynch is the mastermind that he is. Shanahan is the crazy bastard that he is. You never, I mean, you never know what could happen.
The 49ers especially, too, that you're pointing out.
You never know what could happen. To get to the actual question, but I'll keep it short because everyone else has said what needs to be said. I don't think that it's going to happen anytime soon. Yes, David, they are going to riot if this happens. The quarterbacks
They won't
But
like it. PA will go
I
nuts.
think it's more like it that, I mean, Taco said it. There's weird things that would have to work out because, you know, the disparity here, the disparity there. I don't think it'll happen. It's just teams are just gonna have to figure it out, and owners don't want to have to be backed into a corner, and they are, and that's one of the reasons it's being brought up. So no, I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen either. But I think what should happen, and this might be an issue for the players to throw back at the owner, is how about we just get rid of these fucking stupid guarantees and just make a guaranteed contract.
Seriously,
don't make it stupid.
Yeah,
just make a guaranteed contract.
Yeah.
I mean,
we can all blame Deshaun Watson, okay?
Fuck Deshaun Watson. I mean, he's not even the fucking guilty party right there. He's fucking at 19% of his fucking.
He's embezzling the Browns as we speak right now.
To Gator's point, there have been many that have said make it more similar to, you know, NBA, you know, kind of contracts and how those are structured in terms of the guaranteed money and such. So I'm not opposed to that.
I think that's a lot harder when you're talking about a 11 offense, 11 defense compared to a total team of 11.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to do something to stop guys like Trevor Lawrence from being the highest paid quarterback.
Don't worry, no one will. No one will.
There's
one person in the world that will, and his name is Diddy.
You're not wrong that the Jags overreach, but you got to understand though, it is a game of leapfrog. So it's gonna happen. Like random people are gonna be at the top just because it's leapfrog. You know?
I know it just shows stupid ownership, but that's where these rules.
You're right.
You gotta win an MVP or some fucking playoff games or be an All-Pro a couple of years before you can get paid the most money in the league.
Or win you gotta
be better than Daniel Jones to make that much money.
Or you gotta win one hell of a Call of Duty tournament.
Hold up. All right.
Because he's up there as well. So don't fucking talk around about having to win shit. Because he ain't want to fuck
cap this one off. Here's how I'll cap this one off. I'm sure that numbers were done behind this, which is why it may be the owners themselves actually escalating it. These are fucking billionaires. They're not going to open their mouths about something like this. Wow.
Sorry.
That
was good.
Without having looked into a reasoning as to why they should do it and as to why it has been and as to why it is possibly beneficial.
That guy, yes, do that.
Now, granted, we don't know how many owners that may be proposing this. It sounds like it sounds like a good handful. If it is a separate cap for quarterbacks, it is something that does not affect the other players, so that other players can actually get paid. And I don't know, offensive linemen can now start making a little bit more, you know, so on and so forth. If it's something to where also, hey, like we need to be able to compete with the money that these kids are getting in college and that NIL money, we need to make it actually worth it for them to come into the pros. And I think that might have something to do with it as well. To my understanding, it's going to be a separate bucket, a separate cap. If it's a way to bring the best talent from the developmental level, college, etc., and have them come here and not have to, you know, take the other money and or do an extra year just to, you know, get that extra money or that extra deal. I mean, you need to do something to combat that. We brought up on this show before. Is there something that the NFL could do to combat it? It sounds like that this could potentially maybe be it.
Oh, just a quick update. Oilers just scored again, 3-0.
Yes, they did. Yes, they fucking did. Yo, Oilers girl has so much fortune.
She's probably just full on streaking at this point. If the Oilers,
yeah, by the way, she put out a post the other day that was phenomenal. And if you, I saw that. That was great. Yeah, good on her. You know, I got drunk, showed my titties. If you don't like it, fuck off. I love it. Right?
Yeah.
And then what makes it good is that you know, Of course, she's a beautiful female too.
Yeah.
But she just gives no shits. Don't
She
fuck
did
with
it on
her.
her own.
Yeah,
It was her own
don't-
choice
yeah.
and everything, you know?
Yeah, don't fuck with her. She's that same chick that at least it came across as if you fuck with her, she's gonna punch you in the fucking mouth and then the groin and then in the gut. And you're gonna be that dude who's like, yeah, I just got my ass beat.
Have you seen
by
Leonard
her.
Kinney? Have you seen Leonard Kinney?
That's
They're always down for a good scrap up there, eh?
Yeah.
Let's get into one more subject here. Before we get into halftime, we're gonna take a break from contract talk. I know that there were some other contracts that got done. It's okay. Well, I will give you your due time. I want to talk about SFB 14 really quick. Make sure that you guys do donate to fantasycares.org. You should all pretty much, for the most part, be following Scott Fish. Just saying. Yep, SFB 14 merch right there. Feel free to cop some merch. Really dope merch line this year. I love a lot of the nostalgia.
My order is in
with it. Very nice. Very.
I'm telling you right now, when I ordered mine, I ordered them like call it a Tuesday. It was here by Friday.
Yeah,
it was literally that quick.
Yeah, they're
the shirts are shirts. If you got them last year,
are they better?
Even Scott said it on a pod with me. The shirts last year were good. These ones here, way better.
Oh.
The quality of shirt is way better. So, absolutely, and the price didn't change. So it's phenomenal. Sorry, Robbie, I didn't mean to hijack your SFB merch there, but yes, you should be going to fantasycares.com/merch. I'm sorry, it's fantasycaresshop.com.
Yeah.
Fantasycaresshop.com.
His video is fucking.
Yeah. Well, he's bringing up these fucking, bullshit topics that people don't even want to talk. Oh, hey, Robbie, how you doing?
All right.
I was like, where he's going? Oh, he's talking about Robbie. Oh, shit.
Fuck you.
We love you, Robbie. We love you, buddy.
So no,
David, you caught it.
One of the things I really wanted to make sure that we touched on and we talked about SFB 14 sleeper invites, and of course, obviously, some NFL invites have gone out. Pretty much, motherfuckers is joining our leagues right now. All right, league invites are going out for SFB 14, so make sure you guys are checking your emails, so on and so forth. There should probably be like 2 more waves coming, 1 or 2 more waves coming. If you have not gotten in already. But with invites going out, allowing contestants to join their leagues, I think it's time for us to prepare, especially those of us that are going to be live drafting, because that's a little bit of a different element. Scoring is posted, as well as roster construction. Let's talk strategies. Let's talk tactics. Mike, start us off with this.
Well, right. Hang on, Mike. Where are you drafting from? Like what?
No, I'm gonna bring that up.
That's gonna be a part of everyone's.
Okay.
All right. So I am not live drafting. I'll say that too, so we're all know what's going on. I am not live drafting. I am out of the 5 spot. I am hoping a quarterback falls to me. And the mocks that I've done, it's happened. It hasn't happened. I've seen CeeDee Lamb go 3 and 4, so quarterback falls to me. I'll just say it. I don't care. I mean, we always say, we want to hide stuff for this or that. If Lamar's there at 5, I don't give a shit who's on the board. I'm taking Lamar in the scoring format. I don't give a crap. That is, I'm putting that on the block right now. Smash accept within 30 seconds of being on the goddamn clock. I don't think he's going to be on the board when I get to 5. There's my issue. So I have done mocks where CMC's there at 5, and I've taken CMC. I do not like how those builds. I don't like how those builds look. So I am honestly considering a quarterback because of the scoring format. I am considering skipping Patrick Mahomes if he's there at 5 for AR-15. I haven't decided, but that is something I am highly considering with the scoring format.
Really? With AR-15?
Because it is what it's only It's what is it? Gator. It's 50, right? 50 yards for a point, not 25.
Yeah,
for the
it's
scoring.
it's diving into this score. I've got to still dive into the scoring to find out all the
Yeah.
super intricacies.
But it's
of it.
double. It's double.
Yes.
I think it's double. Like so, instead of 1 point for 25 yards passing, it's. But here's the thing, David, because I know you're not as in. It's
plus 1 point per yard. 10 yards equals 1 point.
That's rushing.
Yeah, rushing. That's what you asked about, right?
No, but 50 is 50 yards for 1 point for passing.
Yeah.
It's a quarter point per rushing attempt. It's half a point for a first down. It's stuff like so. That's the bonus points that like the running quarterbacks can get. The other thing that's why I'm thinking that. The other thing I will say is I've seen Rashid Shaheed go as early as round 8 because of the scoring format for the yardage return.
Really? Wow.
It is
yeah. That's right.
I am going to be looking. One of the things that I'm going to be looking to get once I get my starting lineup set is looking for the return guys that, as in Gibson, Marvin Mims, Trayvon Williams, guys like that. Those Ty Chandler, those guys are going to be on my bench for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I have that is something that I noticed. I mean, like a special team lately, they're adding extra thought processes into this year.
It's 10 points for a return touchdown with the new rules too. So
yeah, which is what I was about to say. Yes, but yeah.
What's the yardage, Robbie? Do you know the yardage for return?
Plus 0.2 per yard, 5 yards equals 1 point. For punt returns and kick returns is the exact same thing.
Yeah. So with the new, there's people that are going to start Justin Fields as a super flex because if you
because they're returning, which I don't know why they're doing that with him. I don't love it, but
there's look. It's also a new,
it's new kickoff format. I knew that.
Year, so
but still,
look in big field tournament, you got to add in a couple of wrenches to make.
Before I throw it to Gator, I will say I'm in the Rudy Rudiger division. Go Rudy!
Nice. There we go. I love it.
I'm in the red rum division. These motherfuckers wanted to try and draft at the actual.
I know they wanted to freaking draft at a haunted house, and you didn't want it.
Yeah, I was like, yo, hell no. So we're not doing that. Yeah.
Are y'all in any leagues with any celebrities or anything?
I am one of them. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, everyone that's like every fucking analyst is here. I'm not going through the list of people that I'm drafting with. That's too many people.
Mine's not a lot. So I got a guy from Dynasty Trade Calculator and a guy from FantasyInsider.com, and then me.
There's a bunch of this. Yeah, who's who's. Gator.
Man, this year's the scoring is wild.
Yes.
I think that's the least of it. But I think even more importantly, what people need to look at is the roster
construction
as a whole.
Yep.
Right. Yes, it's still, quarterback, super flex, right? It is still a super flex, but you only have to start one quarterback, one running back, one wide receiver, one tight end. On sleeper, you have to start a kicker. You get 5 flex spots.
Yeah.
And then you add in the super flex spot, right? But then if you look at the tight end boost.
Yep, I didn't bring that up on purpose. Yeah.
Stop. I mean, that is the. I mean, if you're sitting there, like I am sitting at 104, I'm live drafting in Orlando, and it is 2 weeks from this coming Sunday, and I know some live drafts are happening next weekend, so it's gonna be wild. It's going to be wild. I'm not opposed to starting off quarterback, tight end, quarterback.
I mean, I don't.
and then possibly filling in from there,
I
and
don't
just
hate that
taking
because-
BPA from there, right?
Yep.
But if you can get those two elites tight ends, people that are going to take again drafting from the 104. If I can go ahead and get an Anthony Richardson, a Lamar Jackson, something like that at that 1-4, Jalen Hurts at that 1-4 because again, the passing is mute. I mean, it's freaking done. There is nothing for passing yards. It's all about rushing quarterbacks early. It's what 1 point for 50 yards, like Mike was saying for passing. You get nothing for passing yards.
Yeah.
So
is Brock Bowers higher on your list for tight ends? Gator?
Who is that?
Is Brock Bowers higher on your list for tight ends that you might pursue early?
Who is that?
Brock Bowers.
Who is that? I'm sorry, you're breaking up. You're breaking up. Did you say?
Not great. In this format, probably not going to do that.
Probably, I mean, so in theory, there's like 5 tight ends, like the top 5.
Gator, will you tell David about the premium, just so he's aware of how good?
It's so the premium for tight ends is it's a
point.
full point. But then you get another point for 10 yards and a point for first downs for tight ends.
Yeah.
Extra.
Interesting. Yeah. That's a lot.
So, exactly. So it's like 3 times. And that's where so it's like super tight end premium.
I remember hearing about that about SFB, that tight ends coming at premium.
So
for sure.
like a Jalen Hurts. So just thought process to start off with at 104, a Jalen Hurts come back with probably won't make it to me, but like a Sam Laporta or even a Trey McBride.
Yeah.
I've seen Trey at your spot.
Yeah. I've seen Trey there a bunch, but then come back around, because again, it's a 3rd round reversal, but then you come back around on that and possibly get somebody like a Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Right. And then on that 4th turn, go get Kyler Murray. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. I see that.
That's like the thought process. And so the thought process last year was and I was even telling Scott this the just like a week ago. We were sitting there last year at this time going, it's Travis Kelce's the 101. Travis Kelce's 1-1, just because there was a tight end premium last year.
Yep.
Last year's tight end premium was nothing compared to what this year's is.
Really? Okay.
Right. So last year, tight end, with the tight end premium, it was Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce was the 1-1.
Yeah.
And I remember driving to the draft that Saturday morning, and I was listening to Scott Fish. It was Heath Cummings, and I want to say Bob Harris. They were all on Sirius XM at the same time, and they were doing like a pre-Scott Fish Bowl deal. And it was like, Heath Cummings also picking from the 101. I'm picking from the 104. And he's like, I'm debating on, taking Travis Kelce 1-1. And that 15 minutes of him saying that to me getting to the draft, I was like, why did you pick the 1-4 spot last year? You didn't pick the 1-4 to go fucking tight end. You picked the 1-4 to go and get the elite quarterback.
But the thing is with the format is that it makes you think and it makes people do wild things, especially because it is a big field. So you kind of have to swing for fences and do wild things.
100%. And that's the problem is you're going to see people swing.
Yeah.
Like I did last year. Last year I ended up at 1.
That's the beauty of it.
But last year I ended up at 1-4. The first 3 rounds fell beautifully to me.
Then
Lamar Jackson. Yeah, Lamar Jackson. Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson. Those are my first 3 draft picks. 2 of them didn't play very much. It is what it is. But ultimately, the best part about Scott Fish and Scott Fishbowl is the community that it builds. It's about having fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
You
for
know.
charity and everything, and you get to
Yeah.
connect with people. It's awesome. It's dope shit.
So yeah,
But you brought up a question a minute ago, David. Michael Savoytnoy, if I'm saying that properly, from Blossom, The Dark Knight, all that. He is in my group chat.
Oh, cool.
So I've had many conversations with him. So there's plenty of celebrities out there. What's that look there, Robbie? What's that look there, Robbie? He's like, oh.
So
Blossom?
yeah, we're gonna
Blossom?
keep it moving. David, I know that you don't play fantasy. So you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to my lawyers and plead the fifth on this segment.
Yeah.
Please do.
I'll just let you ride the pine on this one.
We gotta get David in some. We gotta get David in a Rumboyz fantasy.
He doesn't do.
Yeah, where's my invite, you asshole?
See, that's what I'm saying, Robbie. That's all you gotta do is send him an invite. He'll do it.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't do fantasy.
Taco man off.
Yeah,
I think. So I just want to make running backs get half a point per catch, wide receivers get 1 point per catch, and tight ends get 1.5 per catch, if I understand that correctly.
Yes.
So I mean, a guy that kind of sticks out to me right now that's like seeming like a fucking really interesting player is Deebo Samuel. Because Deebo Samuel gets wide receiver stuff, but he's also going to be used as a running back and getting first downs and getting some of those extra little points. He's kind of like very interesting player to me in this kind of a format. Also, I think that, you know, in most cases, what Gator's talking about is kind of like the conventional game theory in these kind of big field tournaments. You want to go snag out these running quarterbacks, but also running quarterbacks, the ones that get injured the most, they don't always last all season. And in these kind of big tournaments, you lose your top picks early. It kind of comes hard to come back from. And when you look at what happened last year, you had guys like Sam Laporta, CJ Stroud, who in these late rounds in big tournaments ended up really paying dividends because you kind of got the value. I almost at a certain point feel like we have completely undervalued running backs that are utilizing high volume that can catch, where I think there's two guys that stick out to me as very interesting in that top half of the draft that I kind of, if I'm
Where
playing,
the hell did you learn that? Because you definitely didn't learn that here.
Hey, Kirk Cousins, he's got some low-key wheels on him, you know.
David, shut up.
That's why David doesn't play fantasy.
Exactly.
I'll see myself out, guys. Take care. Have a good night.
I'll tell you this. I feel like CMC and Bijan Robinson are going to be some and then also a guy like CD Lamb are going to be some stable workhorses to like really anchor your team, and then you might be able to come back and get a guy like, you know, laugh at me, like maybe Justin Herbert, who this year bounces back heavy, but you got him at QB 12, 14, and you pair him up with somebody else that's going to bounce back because you're getting the undervalued player that's going to be able to overperform that. And now what I'm looking at is I'm taking the position that's hardest to get in running back and getting a high volume guy.
So you draft Trevor Lawrence.
I would draft Daniel. I will draft Daniel Jones before I draft Trevor Lawrence.
That's such bullshit. Oh
I
my
would.
god, you're cracked out of your fucking mind.
I would.
Who's your running
Daniel
back?
Jones is a more of a running quarterback. Like in this kind of a tournament, God forbid Daniel Jones has like that 1 year that he did that other year.
You're making Gator rub his eyes out.
Daniel Jones was a top 12 quarterback 1 year.
You sound like his fucking lawyer. You know, like,
he's a hawk tooey.
Yeah. You sound like you're hot tooing.
No. This is honestly, and whole Taco, my heart. Look, for real.
This fucking guy. Yes.
This is, you stress me the fuck out.
God.
Now you're looking like Jada
fucking villain.
Look, here's what I'll say. And what my best tip is for the way that both the scoring format is laid out.
What spot are you drafting out of?
3. I was gonna get into that. For the way that the scoring format is laid out, and for the way that the roster construction is laid out, kind of similar a little bit to what Gator was saying. He was kind of leaning into kind of what I was about to say, but not 100% completely. I'm going to be coming in with, obviously, my film analysis, but data from top scores per position. Looking at the roster construction, I want a healthy balance, period, across the board. Mm-hmm. The only way that it won't be a fairly healthy, balanced lineup, especially because of the amount of flexes and bench spots that I'm going to be having, I'm going to try and load up on as many high caliber fucking players while simultaneously picking from the 3-hole as possible. I do feel like the 1s and 12s, probably mainly more so 12s, could have a fucking field day with this. I do think that there may be an argument for, I 100% believe that quarterbacks are going to be needed. You're not going to overflow on QBs, obviously, but with the amount of bench spots, you can afford to maybe have, 1 or 2 on the bench.
There is one thing we haven't mentioned is the kick return and punt return yardage is going to matter.
That was mentioned. That was already mentioned.
Mike talked about that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I had to walk away for a second. I just want to make sure that was brought up. Okay.
I don't. Right now, my draft is until the 6th of July. As of right now, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to 100% commit into going with the QB, first overall, just because of the way the scoring is built and the different things that I can do and the different ways that I can build my team. Maybe I go QB, 2nd round, come back maybe 4th round, and that's when I grab my second one, or 5th round. There's a lot of different things. Tuesday, this is message to our graphics here. Wednesday night, because Gator mocks Tuesday. Wednesday night on our channel, I am going to be doing a SFB mock. So tune in, obviously. Yeah.
Me and Mike might have to collab on that one.
Yeah, feel free. Y'all have each other's numbers. Touch the tips. I don't care. No Diddy.
Hey, whoa.
No, that's what Taco does with Danny Dime.
He accused me and Mike on that.
He double dips with both processes.
Listen, just because you got Caleb Williams, don't start feeling fresh, okay?
He alternates every other day,
Really quick, we are going to get into halftime. We do have plenty of more fantasy football and NFL talk on the other half of the show. Things keep going the way that they are, as it currently stands 3-0.
Shut up.
Because Stuart Skinner's just a fucking beast. Okay?
Shut up. Take this to halftime.
We may be giving you Game 7 pick'ems
live
at the end of the show. We'll see how things work out. We have a lot more to talk about on the second half. This is Rumboyz After Dark. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. This is a perfect time for you to go and share the content on your social media. Nothing but some music videos playing. We'll be right back.
Just stick to the plan. Just stick to the plan. Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it shit. Just stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it just shit. See, it's kinda funny. You stick to the road to the riches and hope you don't crash like some dummy. To get to this money, you cut every pizza to pie to find out you sliced into an onion. Now let's change the subject. These niggas who think they got something, but actually they end up with nothing. It's getting disgusting. I'm tired of the fucking assumptions. I'm about to blow up like eruption, so stick to the plan. When you lose it, gotta get it again. Keep it moving, never stick in the sand. Even when tired, like Michelin Man, shit, I know I'm the man, so I don't give a damn about opinions. I'm racking up millions, you stacking opinions. She throwing it back in the back of the video. Now we taking off in her man and his feelings. Now back to the business. Back to the lab with my niggas. Actually back doing laps in the trenches. It's my second home. I ain't have to go visit. I stay resident, embedded to living the life of a nigga. By day we just niggas. At night we the victim. The life of go get 'em, so I'ma go get it. I stick to my plan. I still on my mission. Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go into shit. Just stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it just shit. So this is my message. Sometimes you just living in life, be an actor. Don't try to direct it. Now let's change direction. This life that we live for the lesson. Don't count chickens, start counting blessings before they go missing. I promise you, I'm on a mission. I want something, I'ma go get it. No hidden intentions. I open my eyes, saw my vision. Now everyone see that I'm gifted. I'm rapping like Christmas. You niggas just under a tree. I'm smoking it, not metaphorically. I'm smoking no tree. No one's smoking on me. So when I say you're under it, no, that means me. I'm a poet MC and I'm living my dream. Hoping that hopefully you see the hope in me. And if you don't fuck it, cause I'm all I need. Keep my ear to the game and my mind to the streets. I'm a beast. Stick to the #1 mission in hand. Stay true to yourself and give your life meaning. And fuck their opinions, they won't understand. To get to the top, gotta give all you got. Only getting one shot, so give up or not until your heart stops. Gotta stick to the stick to the block. Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it just shit. Just stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it just shit. Just stick to the
Hop out in Miami when I'm landing, got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, or turn me up, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Shots to your deep, but the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, don't want zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good bring away your knowledge.
You don't have to worry, it's my time right now, cause the boy about to blow up. They gon' pay me before I show up. Why you hating? You don't know us. Never make it what they told us. But we don't listen to haters, we just keep.
Welcome back to Rumboyz After Dark, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us a follow over on Twitch as well. Turn this plaque into a silver play button. Greatly appreciate all of you guys showing support to the channel. It is 3-1 here in the third, 13:45 left in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup NHL playoffs. Looks like we're going to be going to a Game 7, boys. More on that as tonight's show continues to progress. Let's continue. I want to show some love to the running backs here with this next topic, okay? The Patriots and their starting running back, Ramondre Stevenson, have agreed to terms on a new deal as he gets a 4-year for $36 million on the extension. That the deal includes $17 million of guaranteed money. Good deal, bad deal. Does this move his fantasy football stock for you at all? Right.
Good deal for him. A little bit of surprise to me, but I'll just keep it to. I'll let David go into his realm because David has his own realm. Stock up, baby, for fantasy, because especially in Dynasty, because people didn't know with them bringing in Gibson if they believed in him. They remember they weren't going to do this, they weren't going to do that with him. I didn't know if he was even going to be on the team in 2025. I love this deal for him. I think this shows that Gerard Mayo is still going to run the ball, even though they got Drake May at quarterback. They don't have the weapons on. Yes, they drafted 2 wide receivers, and they still have
and brought in a running back free agency.
No, they brought in Antonio, and that was one of the reasons I was worried about it. Was I didn't think he was going to be on the team in 2025. I thought that was a precursor, but yeah. I do think that this shows that he still has value. They are still going to run the ball. I mean, their offensive coordinator is Van Pelt. He does like to run the ball. You saw what he did in Cleveland last year and Cleveland in the years before. They're a running team. I do think this helps Stevenson's value overall, but good for him to get his dough because I was surprised he got this much.
You know, I love that you brought the keyword there, value. Before we get into David's take, Ramondre's extension makes him the 7th highest paid running back in the NFL on a per year basis. All right. Ramondre coming in at $9 million. These are the names that are ahead of him and the per year basis ahead of him. Joe Mixon at $9.875 million. Josh Jacobs at $12 million. Josh Jacobs, touchdown Hammerschmidt. His name is my name too.
Shout out to Chris Berman.
Overpaid.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley at $12.583 million. JT Jonathan Taylor at $14 million. Alvin Kamara at $15 million. Christian McCaffrey, of course, at $19 million, getting his big extension recently. David, your take.
Yeah, I dig me some Ramondre Stevenson. I think he's a quality back. He's a dual threat running back, which bodes well for him in this day and age. He's not a burner. He's not an afterburner guy. He's more of a power back, if anything. And it's kind of an interesting moment because you don't see a lot of power backs be so efficient as a receiver like he is, but he's a very efficient receiving back. In addition to what he can do in between the tackles and just absolutely fucking trample some mofos in the trenches. I'm a huge fan of him. I was not high on his fantasy value or his production last year because I thought, and we all kind of saw it coming. So I'm not going to act like I'm a fucking, Nostradamus over here. But the Patriots being so damn one-dimensional offensively, where if anything they're going to get going, it's the ground game. And because they don't have a great offensive line, they got some nice pieces with David Andrews and Michael Onwenu. They're not going to be able to move the ball as efficiently without having a better offensive line and without getting something going in the passing game, which they didn't get shit going whatsoever last year whatsoever. So it was really just Ramondre Stevenson being subjected to a shithole offense as for why he was not ultimately so productive last year. This year, it's going to change because they brought in a new quarterback. They added some additional weapons too. The Patriots will be a lot more fun to watch this year offensively, and it's not just because they brought in, obviously, Drake May and he's so super highly touted and, he's unbelievable in throwing under pressure and all that stuff. But guys like Jalen Polk, that I think are going to make a significant difference. Javon Baker may be someone who's under the radar that we're not concerning enough about. So I really dig it. Honestly, I think it's suitable. He's arguably a top 10 back. He doesn't have a ton of sample size to showcase that in his career, but I think he will this upcoming season.
So it's interesting you bring that up. Because like Drake May, the words that we're hearing out of camp was at first, this is a guy that's not fucking getting it, And now we're hearing this is a guy that's slowly starting to get it. Like, this is a guy that can go out there and compete at the highest level. You surround him with DeMario Douglas as well, who you forgot to mention there.
Yeah. I knew about him.
Against man coverage is literally one of the top wide receivers in the league. So you got that situation covered. He is. His stats prove it.
One of the top in the league?
Do I need a against man?
Okay, against man.
Do I need to yes, listen. I ain't talking too fast. Don't need to be listening too slow. I'm on your head.
Keep speaking, boy. Keep speaking, my man.
I am. Hey, that my man was a little hold on now.
I caught myself.
Here's what I'm saying though. You pair that with Javon Baker, who has track star like speed, especially on a straight go ahead line.
I like Baker better than Polk.
Yeah, I don't know about that man coverage thing. I was thinking the same thing, Mike. 55% completion when throwing the ball to him in man coverage.
Fine, fuck it. All right,
I don't know.
Let me get it for you. No.
That's why I'm looking at PFF right now in man coverage. Demario Douglas versus man. 55% completion, no touchdowns.
I'm gonna hang on. Just give me.
Hold on, let me get my
popcorn. His ass.
Hold on, let me get my popcorn. Hold on, let me get my popcorn.
There you go. That's what I like to see.
I thought that's licorice. Is that new popcorn?
Metaphor's metaphor, okay?
Where the fuck is my graph? Hang on.
I don't have popcorn, but I have a bucket of licorice. Yeah. Leave me alone.
There you go.
I literally hate that I'm having to fucking do this right now. But you know what?
Jesus.
Just to shut David up.
Shut me up, baby. Shut me up.
That was nasty.
Give me that hot tour.
Oh!
I'm kidding.
So
that probably crossed so many fucking lines right there.
He's about to have his Cap Team America moment. Prove your loyalty to me.
Hey.
We're so going down, dude. We're so going down.
Let me remind you that with this take, I'm speaking from also a fantasy aspect. Better verse man than their ADP suggests, okay? Demario Douglas is somewhere around about wide receiver. We'll call between 80 and 85. Okay.
Yeah.
Per this graph, I would say it says 80 between 85. It doesn't say if he's like 82 or 81 or 83. He looks like he's around that mark. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He is in that range when we talk about like for where you're getting Demario, you're getting him what? Wide receiver.
I don't even think he's that bad in
wide receiver 42.
But
so wide receiver 42. So wide receiver 42. He's in the top 100. He's typically top 100 ADP. If I can grab him wide receiver 42, 45.
But you made it sound like he was elite, dude.
Hold on. Because here's the thing. When how many teams are often lining up in man?
Yeah, it's a lot more zone now, but there's certainly.
Hang on. You just proved my point.
Mm-hmm.
This is like in basketball when you have a dude that's really good at ISO.
Mhm.
This is his thing that he's good at. Okay. You put guys like Amon-Ra, Jamar Chase,
Yeah.
Puka, Drake London, Devontae Adams. They're actually worse against man than they are zone. In a fantasy standpoint, they're actually in the negatives.
Okay, fantasy, I can't really speak on because I don't know all the fantasy numbers and their.
So let me fucking cook.
But yeah, go ahead. No, sorry. Did you have anything else you want to say?
Hey, you got me feeling. Hey, you got me feeling like the homie Garner right here. I'm standing on serious business.
Well, no, against man coverage, he still was like he had a 72 grade. Like that's like decent. It's not great. I believe a lot of it was because of the quarterback play.
Okay,
but I don't know about
you couple DeMario. Okay, guys like DeMario, that are like an Adam Thielen, a Kendrick Bourne, a Greg.
He's talented.
Okay, these guys, ADP values that in these situations, when they see these situations, they get the ball 9 times out of 10, a higher percentile than anyone else, even the most talented receivers in the league. Okay, so you couple, what May will be able to do with a track star like Baker, a man coverage merchant like Demario Douglas, a route merchant like Polk. Polk would probably be the best route merchant, I would say, right now in that wide receiver.
He's my favorite wide receiver on that depth chart for sure right now.
Yeah,
even as
Baker has entered the chat.
He's decent.
Okay. Just wait. Just wait.
Are you cousins with this guy? I was like,
I'd rather have
Baker. Like, how fucking dare you, David? You're dead to me.
No, I mean, hey, no. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. We see different things. When we watch film.
I don't think he was even that bad. I think to bolster your point of some of the reasons why he wasn't as efficient as he could have been in man coverage is because of shithole quarterback play and shithole play calling. Against different defensive schemes that weren't compatible for him to run routes against.
He's the track star, so it won't matter.
He's an athlete, spectacular athlete.
And then you couple that with the backfield where clearly it's going to be Ramadre that's going to be leading, and then Antonio Gibson that can, kind of be able to create space. This offense is going to be very interesting.
It is. It will be.
I don't know if the Ramadre signing is enough for us to pinpoint and be like, this is going to be a run-first offense. I think that we see that through the first 3 weeks, and then they're going to have to eventually be like, okay, we need you to spin the rock. And we start seeing May's completion attempts start or just throwing attempts in general. Start getting up there.
I think they'll rise real quick before we go to Taco. I think they'll rise up, but I do still think with the offensive coordinator, this will be a run heavy offense compared to the others in the league.
I could see that. Taco.
I mean, Ramondre Stevenson a couple of years ago was a championship winner for a lot of us because the way he pulled himself into that Patriots job and the way he was catching passes made him a very viable candidate. Now, I know the market's the market, and you needed a running back, so next man up. That's why he got his money. Like, let's face facts. They also went and spent money on Gibson this year. So, they basically shored up their running back spot, and they're going to basically be using Gibson, hypothetically, like you said, as that change of pace, catching, receiving back, which absolutely kills Stevenson's value. If he's getting closer to 40 catches than 70 catches, that is a huge dip in his value, and that's a huge change in how you have to look at him as a player.
You don't feel like that business also reared its ugly head into this? You need someone that you can sell jerseys. You need someone that you someone that you can
Like what I'm saying is you signed him for the money to get him on the team because he's a solid guy, but for fantasy purposes, it does not change what you're looking at. In most formats, you have a PPR league, and if you have the lead back only getting close to like 40 catches or 50 catches or keeping it low like that, it's a lot harder for you to like look at him as a breakout or an RB1 even. You kind of need a guy that's going to be able to either one, really be able to get close to like 70 catches, or two, be able to get more than double-digit touchdowns. That's going to be your way. Now, this backfield could be like how they use it in Detroit, where you kind of use both of them to mix and match, and you lean heavy on the running game because you don't trust the rookie enough to throw the ball, and you kind of lean out that way most of the way, and their volume may give them enough to be RB2s, but I don't see either one of them being able to be an RB1. I don't see either one of them having enough volume to be an RB1.
For me, what I will say is that it does move the needle. A player that I was virtually in almost all formats, kind of ducking and dodging.
I mean, he's an RB2.
I don't.
Yeah,
I'll trot out Joe Mixon as my RB2.
Joe Mixon, I think, is probably.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's an either or. I could see it being an either or. To be honest,
I won't go.
They're both in the RB2 range.
Yeah,
I just
like I take him over Najee Harris.
I like.
The thing with Stevenson was when I have had shares of Stevenson, is that it's too much of a flip flop of a hit and miss. There's not enough consistency there for me personally. Shout out to Bob Long.
I have a quick question for you. Who would you rather have, David Montgomery or Ramondre Stevenson?
Montgomery, for sure.
Easy.
Ramondre.
What? Really?
I mean, volume-wise, you should get more out of Ramondre.
I'll say Stevenson, though, over Mixon in terms of the run blocking situation with the Patriots. Like, I think that's more favorable than
that's
Mixon
a football.
with the Texans.
That's more of a football thing.
No, I know, but I'm just saying you can segue it into fantasy if you want.
The biggest question for Stevenson is how much is he using the passing game? That's the biggest question.
Yeah, that is exactly the problem, and that's exactly goes into what David was saying. It's not about the volume, to be quite honest. He's losing third. This contract is what it is. He's gonna be losing third down to Antonio Gibson, who is the better pass catcher, by the way.
Yep.
He is the better pass catcher.
Yeah,
that's why New England brought
that's why
Antonio Gibson there.
That's why they brought him in for the dump ball.
So Ramondre's going down from a 3-down back to a 2-down back.
Yep.
I mean,
what I'll say about it is it moves the needle, but not a whole lot. I will have shares for in case shit purposes.
Running back 36.
Then that's what I'm saying.
Is where he's at in best ball drafts on the average right now across 3 major platforms.
And he could be, you know, my third, you know.
Fair.
And I have no problems with that. If I'm building, you know, for a lineup that's centered around having, you know, 4 running backs, 4 or 5, I have no problems with him being the third. I don't think that I'm going first, or I'm damn sure not going first. I mean, and unless I'm
taking Nick Chubb over him,
unless I'm going 0 RB.
You're getting him in like the 10th, 11th round is where you're getting Ramondre in best ball draft.
So he could still be my 2 even if I went 0 RB. So it wouldn't
100%.
Yeah.
He'll be a legit asset this year.
That's not terrible. Because you got to also factor in Gibson is not like always that healthy, where there could be a way that he just ends up voluming out. And because they have lack of receivers, who knows that they might not flex out and start using Gibson in wide receiver packages, and then you run both out, or you even run dual running backs.
Taco.
That's
just so you know, Taco, that's called 12.
And that's why, but that's also why I said that I'm not buying heavy stock into the offense as a whole. The needle is moved in a positive direction for me. I'm not putting all the chips just because he's the 7th highest paid running back in the league. But it is a statement, and I do put some respect on his name for getting that money.
Stevenson, though, he's missed 10 games in his career through 3 years. That's the thing, though. You know,
he's a running back. He's a running back, right?
Yeah, that's gonna happen. I'll deal with that.
A 3-year running back, by the way. A
3 years he's missed 10 total games.
So he's missed 10 total games, and not
that's
even a
not
thing.
bad. Yeah.
That's not a thing, David. I'm sorry. Not
Well,
what
no,
I
I just mean I was saying in comparison to Antonio Gibson, who's actually been healthier than Ramondre Stevenson.
Andre Stevenson.
Correct.
That's all I was saying.
Okay,
with that.
I see what you're saying. So you're making my point stronger. Okay, David, go ahead. Continue talking.
I want to get into the next topic. We're making great
Good
time here.
manipulation. I like that. I like that. Well played.
I want to get into the next topic.
you
We're making
bastard.
great time here. We have about 20 minutes left here on this slate. The Minnesota Vikings have named QB Sam Darnold the starter heading into training camp. Is this the best move for the Vikings? How long does Sammy keep the job before we start hearing the chants for JJ McCarthy? And are we willing to stack him with Justin? Are we willing to stack Sam with Justin Jefferson, or are you willing to take the gamble on still riding with JJ and JJ? Taco.
I see virtually no way that you don't give Sam Darnold at least the first couple of weeks. Like, I think it's irresponsible to put JJ McCarthy unless this dude balls out so hard that he looks like he's such a superstar. But when you look at what he did in college and you look at that he was, only using half of the game sometimes because that offense was blowing out or that whole team was blowing out other people, it just doesn't make sense to rush him along and possibly spoil his confidence, ruin something by putting him out there too early. I take my time. I wait it out. I'm a mid-tier franchise. I don't get big stars. I can't sign free agents. I need to make sure I develop JJ McCarthy as best as I can, and I need to make sure that he doesn't break. So if I have to sit this kid for half the season and we fucking lose this year, then so be it, because I don't want to ruin his psyche. I want him to come in a situation where he can succeed, where he knows that he can go out, he knows what's going on in the field, he can make those snap decisions, because it's a lot different when you know what to make the decision, but it's like a half a second faster. Or when all of a sudden these windows are closing a lot sooner, and now you're not able to interpret and make these plays that you were used to playing, because now you're not as familiar with the data, and you're having to make your decisions a little bit faster, and the windows are closing a little bit tighter, and it doesn't make sense for you to go out there and you let a guy like Sam Darnold kind of show you the ropes, almost like Goku in that Cell Saga.
Whoa. Hey there. Don't fucking compare Sam Darnold to fucking Goku.
But you're gonna show the kid this is how it's done. Just like when he goes out there and he's measuring it, he's like, oh, I can do this. I've seen this. You've shown me this. And I think it sets up a good way, especially with Darnold coming out of the 49ers system. I don't think he was a terrible quarterback. He just had terrible opportunities. I think even that could be an interesting run, because if he gets hot, like some of these veterans have done, and he has the arm talent, he can keep that thing going. But you got to protect your investment. So you want JJ to sit. You don't need him to come out immediately. I think it's irresponsible if they put him out there week one just to say that your first guy's out there. And then all of a sudden, now come the end of the year, we're looking at another Justin Fields.
Okay. David.
Listen, this whole deal with Sam Darnold, for one thing, him being the starter, it's not a good look for JJ McCarthy getting beat out by Sam fucking Darnold of all people.
Didn't get beat out.
Who?
They're giving him the starting reps going in training camp. I mean, they've had some time to showcase something, So he's beaten him thus far. I mean, you can't say he's gone up against a fucking a mannequin this entire time, and they're just benching JJ McCarthy just cause, I think there's no team out there that views Sam Darnold as a starting caliber quarterback except the Minnesota Vikings. I would imagine. I would be safe to place a bet on that.
I don't think that they're viewing him as a starter.
But he's starting going into this in training camp. So that's just something. Okay. It's just something right now, okay? And it could change. It could very much change. It could very much, fluctuate in the depth chart. There could be some legit depth chart fluctuation, but no. Sam Darnold for the past 4 years hasn't been viewed like that whatsoever. Sam Darnold, if I had to gauge Sam Darnold as a quarterback, it's like all your buddies decide to take acid, and then here's Sam Darnold drinking an entire fucking vial like he's not supposed to. And then 4 years later, he still hasn't fucking recovered from it. And he's still seeing fucking whatever that creature is from the Smile movie. From, it's so cringy what I'm seeing from Sam Darnold anytime he plays. He's horrible. I'm sorry, but he's horrible.
You can in the sport of football, in any fucking sport, you can just philosophically say, hey, just because this person is a veteran, we're gonna go ahead and give him a spin.
No,
you can do that.
Why can't they? No, why couldn't they get a bridge quarterback that showcased he could potentially start, like a Gardner Minshew, for instance? Hell, I would even take Marcus Mariota over Sam Darnold. I would absolutely take Marcus Mariota over Sam Darnold. 1,000%. And fucking Darnold proved that last year.
Over fucking Sam.
And Darnold fucking proved that shit last year against the Ravens. He got those cheeks clapped in that game. Okay,
listen,
let's be real.
They both suck, but like, come on now.
Sucked ass.
It's like who sucks worse.
He was, I mean, this dude was getting his ass tramp stamped in that game. Like, I'm just being real, you know? Sorry, was that a little aggressive?
No, you're good. You're good. All righty. So David is opposite of Taco, optimistic.
It's a
David,
failure.
pessimistic.
It's a failing experiment, you know?
David.
You mean Gator.
Or Gator. Fuck. Gator. God damn it.
Can't keep me, can't keep me
Oh,
off
fuck
his mind,
this
you know?
bullshit. I fucking hate you, Taco. I fucking hate you.
Why? Say it.
Because I have to agree with you.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah.
Another time, another ring. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. I mean,
What are we
listen,
doing?
listen. We're talking about a Minnesota team that we all know is not going to be that good. You got Justin Jefferson. They just paid this dude. Okay, let's look at week 6. At best is when JJ starts. At best.
I like that.
If Minnesota is somehow still in this playoff chase, even for the division title, they might let Sam go a little bit longer. But the day that they are eliminated from the playoffs, JJ is in. And you're going to see JJ to JJ, right? This is also, listen, you have to look at the long game. This is not as we look at fantasy football, it's 3 years. No. Minnesota's looking at it 4 or 5 years down the road. If they do get one of those top draft picks, they've only got Aaron Jones basically on a 1-year deal. Let's talk about Aaron Jones being there, helping out JJ in the second half to build his confidence. Then we lead into 2025 with JJ as the starter. No more Sam Darnold because, again, it's a 1-year deal. I'm telling you right now, this could be a get up for them in 2025. Jumping up because we know the quarterback class is not that good. This could be a jump up to go get that future running back. Okay. What they had for 12 years or whatever it was.
I like your take. I like your take, Gator. Mike.
Okay, so I just looked at the schedule. Their bye week is week 6, so he would play at week 7. So that's right in where the consensus of this panel. I like JJ, but there is one thing that has to be pointed out because I will point it out every freaking time just to piss off Robbie.
Fuck you.
I am the biggest Sam Darnold fan on this freaking panel. I circled the wagons for 4 fucking weeks, and I'll do it again if I fucking have to this season.
I love him in college.
Really quick. Do you know what I say to myself? Like every time that I'm writing this show sheet, like every time I'm in pre-production, and like Sam Darnold finds his way to
is Taco going to show up on time
into the news? I'm really, man, fuck. I'm like, I have to hear Mike's mouth. So go ahead.
So what's funny about this, and I have to, because David doesn't realize this. David, you don't like Sam Darnold, and you're a Trojan fan.
I know. I'm a USC guy. You know,
I hate the Trojans, and I like Sam Darnold.
Isn't it weird how the fucking this is like bizarro world right here. Like this is insane.
So,
you know,
I will give Robbie credit for one thing. I love the nickname Robbie gives him: Mono Face, Shovel Face. Yeah.
It's no hose.
7.
What's that?
Going to game 7.
Game 7.
What?
Okay. So
We'll talk
get to
about
that
it.
in a
We'll talk about
get
it.
to that
Let's
in a
get
minute.
through. Let's get through. That's why I'm like, let's get this.
I love JJ McCarthy for this team for the freaking future. He is perfect for the future. He will not start the season. I just drafted him today in a Superflex rookie league. I got him at 109 in a rookie draft. I will take him there all day long, but he will not start till week 7. I agree.
Can I ask one quick question about
Earliest.
when it comes to JJ McCarthy's development? Are we really going to sit here and feel optimistic about JJ McCarthy if he's getting benched for a guy who is
He's not getting
For a
benched.
veteran.
He's right now. He's benched. Right now, he's backing him up.
But
For
the
a guy
way
who's
that you're saying it, the way that you're
Antichrist out
saying
on the
it,
field.
listen, the way that you're saying it, though, you're saying it with such like a negative connotation.
But right now, but we named Caleb Williams instantaneously as our starting guy.
What the fuck else did you have?
But who the fuck do the Vikings have? Darnold's a fucking. He's
Sam
a mannequin.
Darnold's the bridge.
He's a shell-shocked. He's a shell-shocked fucking.
David, how dare
He's
how
Daniel
dare you
Jones bridge.
How dare you compare? Hold on. How
Here-
dare you compare
Here's
JJ?
what I'm gonna shut the fuck up, Taco. Here's what I'm gonna say in my face. Here's what I'm gonna say right now. All right.
Poor Taco.
The Vikings are looking at this.
No
as-
sour cream for you.
The Vikings are looking at this as glass half full, glass half empty type of deal. Hear me out.
I'm hearing you.
Hear me out. Plenty of fucking organizations have done this. Okay. Look at how many fucking times Josh McCown has been a starting QB.
Yeah, he played well. When does Darnold play well? When does he play well?
I'm not done.
All right,
Let me cook. McCown was never fucking good. All right. Stop it.
Stop.
McCown
I saw
was-
firsthand with the Bears. He killed it with us. Okay, we love you,
Stop.
McCown. Get
Tyler
a statue
Badger, how
built
you
for you
doing?
in Chicago ASAP.
Tyler
McCown
Bowser,
and
how you
Sam
doing?
Darnold have given an opportunity. All right. With decent weapons. All right. Stop it. Knock it off. And at best, McCown was a fucking novelty QB. All right.
That's true. You're right about that.
You walk in the gift shop, you're like, oh. You go to a 7-on-7 camp. Josh McCown's like there. You're like, I caught passes from a NFL caliber quarterback. Oh, really? Who? Josh McCown. Your ass. Like that's how that works out. All right.
Yeah.
Look, Minnesota's going into this fully knowing they've already probably sat down and spoken to JJ.
Mm-hmm.
You're not benched. Listen, motherfucker, you are going to start at some point. But we want you to take a moment. I need you to learn the good,
Mm-hmm.
the little bit of good.
I love that you had to clarify that.
A little bit.
And every single fucking piece of the ugly of what not to do. And then when we have you start in week 4, you go out there and you fucking punish shit.
All right. Godspeed. That's all I fucking say. Godspeed.
That's what the Vikings are thinking. That's what I believe in my mind that the conversation went. I did not believe the conversation. Hey, listen, you're fucking ass right now. So we're putting in the person that's more ass than you.
Robbie, I'm not even saying you're wrong with that. I'm not even saying you're wrong about that. I just don't think it's a good look that he's going into training camp as the backup. You know?
I think that is a perfectly good look.
Let me throw you 2 quick things at this, David, just so it's 100% clear that Sam Darnold is the scapegoat this year in 2024 for the Minnesota Vikings. Again, they don't know what they have in the offensive line.
That man's is buns and no honey.
They look at the
offensive line a little bit,
but even more importantly,
tackles.
You look at what they just did with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
2024, his cap hit is $8 million.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, roster bonus, options, workouts, all that. Total is only $15 million for 2025.
Fucking everywhere.
2026, let's jump to 40.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's where they're setting themselves up They're not putting JJ McCarthy into a situation where he cannot succeed.
Where he cannot succeed.
They are absolutely going to sit there and go,
his confidence. They
learn from Sam Darnold.
Confidence.
But is Sam Darnold the guy to learn from? Why couldn't it be like an
no.
Andy Dalton?
Fuck no.
You know,
No,
But
he
it's
is
what
the,
you fucking
he is
have
the
to shut up
person
and
you
cover
learn
and
what
deal with it.
not to do, what
He's a
you
veteran.
learn
He's
not to do
succeeding in
from.
David,
Learn what not to do from. Number one.
When I was fucking
Number
deployed, you know what they
two.
gave me? You know what they gave me for a sidearm? Okay, not my main rifle. You know what they gave me for a fucking
Get a
sidearm?
bitch a little
They gave me
pistol
back
that
for-
shot a fucking little, you know,
They gave me
when
a
you shot them,
fucking-
it sticks to your
Beretta.
screens, your TVs, your, you know, the
No,
little
hold on,
kid
hear
guns,
me out,
right?
hear
That's
me
what they
out.
gave
No,
Robbie.
They gave me a
They
fucking
gave
Beretta.
Robbie a
I
fucking
would have much
sucker
rather
gun.
have had a fucking Glock, okay? But you know what? They gave me a Beretta. You know what I had to do? I had to work with the fuck I had, all right? So that's what the Vikings are doing.
So, but Sam Darnold is like a fucking like a faulty ass stun gun in that comparison.
He's the fall guy.
Pretty much.
Fucking
that
move on.
shoots right back in your face, like and you're
It's
pointing it the
$10
right
million.
way,
They're
okay?
paying him. They're paying him less than most fucking running backs make, and they can't
my
make
point
that
is-
shit on their fucking.
Let's get into
Get
the
a
final
better leader than
topic.
Darnold.
Oh,
Get a better
let's
leader
get
than
into the final topic, and actually we're gonna run through some quick our game 7 picks because that's gonna be taking place on a Monday. We're not live Monday. Yearly preseason debate, but this year's it's a little bit different. Usually we're just like, does it matter or does it not? Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner, has repeatedly mentioned how much he's not a fan of preseason and moving to 18 or moving to an 18-2 type of schedule, meaning 2 bye weeks, and making the Super Bowl land on President's Day weekend, granting a 3-day weekend.
Mhm.
Yes, of course, as fans, this gets us excited because we hear 3-day weekend. But could there potentially maybe be something that's overlooked here? Could there maybe be cons like you're cutting down the preseason? You already cut down the preseason. Mike, take it away.
I love the 18-2, but you got to have some kind of preseason because then the first 2 games are going to be shit.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of the whole President's Day weekend. I mean, you know, I get the whole whatever, but I don't get that freaking day off, so it ain't no fucking 3-day weekend for me.
Yo, but here's what I will say for the President's Day weekend, though, like for that aspect, motherfucker, if you give me, look, I am no longer looking at that as President's Day weekend. I don't have to anyways.
No, it's Super Bowl weekend, baby.
Yeah, it now becomes Super Bowl weekend.
Super Bowl weekend, baby.
Like,
And
I'm
Mike,
not about to celebrate a fucking day of a bunch of people that do not care about me and probably do not have my best interests at heart. So, you know, it becomes Super Bowl weekend. Gator.
Mike, get your boss on the phone with me. I'll talk to him for a second. We'll
His
talk some
boss
shit
will
out,
come.
okay?
Oh, that
I'll
ain't
take
happening.
Gator.
Okay.
Go, Gator.
Mike, get your boss on the phone. I need to talk to him. There
We'll
you
tag
go.
team this shit.
I
me
mean,
and
we will.
Gator.
David and I will get
Yo,
you to fucking president.
Robbie and me have had this discussion. I'm going to bring one thing up before I throw it to Gator.
Uh-huh.
I work for a company that deals with government contracts, and I don't get Veterans Day off.
That's bullshit. That's fucked up.
How
That's
am I
How about
criminal?
this, Mike?
How am I
That's
gonna
human
get
rights
freaking President's
violation.
Day off?
You know?
I worked for a black man and didn't get MLK Day off.
Well, that's because your company's fucking they assholes.
And we were like 10
Well.
people deep.
All right, let's go.
All right,
Oh
so,
my
so
Get
just
it.
I just want to clarify this. Everybody in the world should have Veterans Day off. Robbie, what was the original question now?
18-2.
Fucking A.
Do you like the 18-2? Is
Do you
there
like
any
the,
other
you like
side?
the idea
Oh,
of
yeah.
18-2 schedule?
I love the 18-2, to be quite honest, as a fan. I absolutely love the 18-2. I could care less about preseason games. We can see all the shit we need to see in mini camps and you know, OTAs and all that. Cool.
I worry from Mike's standpoint.
Here's what I will tell you. We have seen an increased injury rate since, whether that's head traumas. I'm just talking about overall injury rate. Achilles, MCLs, ACLs. We've seen it all from week 1 to week 14, week 16, week 17, going into the playoffs. The only way an 18-2 works in this little small little brain of mine is it instead of making OTAs optional,
They're mandatory.
every mini camp is mandatory. And instead, but here's the other side of that. You can miss 1 day of mandatory and it's $17,000, which is whatever. Fine. It's like $3 to you and me, Robbie. But then the second day, it's $30,000. Okay. Now we're talking about, okay, now it's $9 to you and me, Robbie. The third day is only $50,000. Okay, Robbie, now it's $150 to you and I. But that every day after that is an additional, that's the max is they can do is $30,000. We talked about this earlier with contracts and players getting guarantees or whatnot. Players should absolutely get guarantees, but so should ownership. This is a sport. It's entertainment for most of us. Owners should also get a guarantee. And if they can't get the guarantee of the player being on the field, how are they getting a guarantee?
By the way, I think OTAs already weren't mandatory. I thought
no. That's what I'm saying is they should all be mandatory. Everything.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I see.
Because
instead of making them optional, make them all mandatory. And if you can get fined for missing one mandatory day, it should increase every single day.
And also to Mike's point, I mean, it's I don't want
sloppy football.
I don't want sloppy football my first couple of regular season weeks.
Yeah.
And
I don't want them in the first couple of weeks, and I don't want them in the last couple of weeks because they can't have my stars in the game.
Yeah.
David, your take, and then we go to Taco.
Yeah, let me see if I can get through this quick before Taco gets his pink slip in the mail from his boss about the MLK Day business. Okay. I'm kidding. I'm just
how does Kendrick say? I'll field goal pump those.
No, I agree with this comment though. I 100% agree. Load management creeps into the coaches' minds. But if they're practicing beforehand, they don't have to worry about it.
Yep, David, give us your take.
Yeah, sorry. So going into this, I'm coming at this with a different perspective. Okay. I'm not thinking about the stars here and about 18-2 of why I don't like it because of the possible load management, because there's more important games to play, thus more force and more possible risk of injury. I'm coming at this. That's one thing you can come at it with for sure. I get why people don't like the 18-2 situation. I'm coming at this of why I don't like it because of the fact that the backups don't get enough of a chance to prove themselves unless they substitute the number of preseason games with scrimmages against other teams, kind of like they do that are unofficial preseason games, because 2 games is not enough to evaluate evaluate your roster cuts to
with
get all
real
the way
full pads. Yeah, with real full pads. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like it. If you replace it with scrimmages, and that's like the in lieu process of and hopefully they can televise the scrimmages, by the way, as opposed to just preseason games when it comes to the off-season stuff before the regular season. But
David,
if you can do that,
David, you should. I'm sorry, I got to cut you off because I think you had a thing there until you told them to televise it. You could have just claimed that it was yours. That was a fucking phenomenal idea to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I just meant for like the business purpose, if that's what they wanted to do.
No, I think it's phenomenal because I mean, you go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish because
no, that's all I had to say. That's all I had to say.
Keep running.
That was fucking, dude. That was exactly what I'm saying. Why don't you just make them all mandatory? All these mini camps, make them mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
And if they'll never put 32 different channels on at one time.
Yeah. Why not? It's always in demand. This shit is always in demand. People want to see this shit. We watch the fucking Combine, guys running against air, and they're not, and everyone fucking loves it. Okay, this will be enjoyable for everyone. Okay,
yeah, it'll no matter what, people still, no matter what happens with the schedule or whatever, no matter how many games it is, people still watch the preseason.
But it doesn't even be preseason. It could just be a 7-on-7 flag drill.
There's something. People will love it. They'll eat that.
We would watch it.
Yeah. Yep. Taco.
Well, I think the proverbial quote would be, you don't want to waste the bullets. Like a lot of players get hurt in training camp. Mm-hmm. A lot of players get hurt in preseason. Lose a lot of guys that would be, you know what? Hey, maybe we do get the season started earlier And instead, the coaches are rotating maybe some of the other guys down the depth chart a little bit earlier to start the season as these guys round into shape, and it really tests your depth at your team. And you say, hey, instead of you getting hurt in the preseason game, let's get the season started. Now you prepare yourself in a completely different way, because now those first couple of games, you're not looking at it, okay, I'm going to use these games to get myself right. I'm coming into it like the season's starting now, so I need to be right coming in because I want to make sure I hit my bonuses. I want to make sure that I'm able to perform at a level that's going to garner that next contract. So now that's going to have everyone preparing in the summer in a complete different way. And much like what Gator and everyone else saying, make those other camps then mandatory if you're going to make this switch. I'm sure there's going to be more compensation that the players are going to have. You're going to allow for that second bye week, which is also going to allow them to do more international games, because now with the second bye week, you could easily now justify sometimes saying, hey, you guys are going to play in England this week, and you guys are going to play in Mexico that week, and we're going to continue to grow the game internationally, and then we're going to have a guaranteed baked-in 3-day weekend that we're going to do Super Bowl, the biggest game of the year, and most people have Monday, at least federal holidays, off. I have that day off, actually, so I will be partaking in those festivities. So I think it makes a ton of sense. And when you look at it from the
calling your boss, telling you not to give you the damn day off.
I just can't wait for Taco's boss to pop in the YouTube chat in a second. You know?
Yes,
I left
you'll
him
be on
already.
a minute. Hang on.
I'm watching your ass.
I left them. We done. Once I found out I didn't get Martin Luther King, I was like, no, I'm done.
So
I can't work for this.
Well, Robbie,
The Kendrick Lamar and me came out.
So
Robbie, before you take your take real quick, Robbie, before you take your take, because I do agree with a little bit of what Taco said there. There is additional information on this. Is the players want guarantees?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now you're going from
stop. Okay.
You got something?
Yeah.
No more breaking news?
Stop. I got this. So one of the things that I do like about this is that it is putting more money back into the player's pocket. If I think about this from the player standpoint, they're not saying no to that extra game check. They're not saying no to that extra game check. I don't think I've met a single player that would say no. From the sentiment that I've gotten from most, now this is mostly on the active side of things. They're all for this. They don't like the preseason either. That's obviously coming from your starters. You're not even, they're coming from your roster makers. Your guys that made the roster. To David's point, that is the only con that I see is when we talk full pads, when we talk full on getting, full-time action, these guys aren't getting the reps, and they're not getting the opportunity to prove yourself. If there's an opportunity for my team to find a diamond in the rough, I want that player to be given the best opportunity, because I want my team to be able to put the best team possible out there on the field.
100%.
There's advantages. There's disadvantages. There are more advantages when we talk about money and opportunity. That's a whole extra game that we get to cover. Yeah. It's a whole extra week. That's extra content. So when you talk about like the trickle downomics of it, like I'm with the shits.
Yeah, a lot more buzz.
Yep, I worry just because I do want that full pads. Let's figure out who downright damn is the best of the best, and let's put them out there. Mistakes still get made in that process, though. But I think that having 3 games, we grew up on 4. I think having 3 is enough, or having 2 and the first one be a scrimmage, kind of what the Hall of Fame game is. Then the first week, give everyone straight up, shorts, pads, and helmets. First preseason game. Okay, you've made it on. You're still in the tryouts, the treeouts. You're still in the tryouts. All right, cool. Second preseason game. We've cut some more people. Third preseason game. All right, now we're heading for our full roster. I think it still needs to be a three game thing, with the first one being a scrimmage, the other two being actual full on pads and contact. There was a rumor, yes, and that is a thing too, that it is going to come with a larger roster and practice squad. So
I think I remember hearing about that too. Yeah, that's right.
Right. Really quick before we get off the air, I want to do Stanley Cup picks.
I got a bold prediction outside the Stanley Cup. USFL is going to be within the NFL, and it's going to be a minor league.
The UFL, yeah, that they've been talking about that.
I know, but with what we're talking about right now with some of these players, the Sam Darnolds, these guys that we're talking about, would they not benefit from a 7 game,
that's
8 game? Not you run through a season in 8 games is what the USFL just did. You run through an 8 game mini camp. 8 game.
I feel like we could definitely see something like that. All right. Game 7 odds are out. 1.5 on the puck line. Either way. 5.5 is the total over under. Edmonton -105 on the money line. Panthers -115 on the money line. I feel like we should play drink or drown right now. Like grab your drink. All right, if you are taking Edmonton, take a drink.
I really hope I'm wrong.
Oh, you waited till everybody else did not take a drink, and you're like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it."
I hate Edmonton, but I'm scared.
Listen, they're keeping Florida Panthers are keeping the cup in Florida.
I hope so.
The real hockey capital of the world, along with my Tampa Bay Lightning.
It's definitely going to be Edmonton. Taco, who do you got?
I got Florida.
You got Florida. Okay.
Look at Taco and I have been agreeing all night.
I mean, listen, they beat the Rangers, so you know what? If we're gonna lose, might as well lose to the champs.
Oh my gosh. David, who do you got?
So even though I work in hockey, I don't know diddly shit about hockey, but I'll tell you one thing, okay? If before the game, right up against the plexiglass behind the Oilers bench, you give the Oilers girl a stand to stand on.
Wait, there's going to be
in her shirt and flashes them titties, okay? Them gifts from God. That team will win it, okay? She will lead a rally like we've never seen before, okay?
She better travel to Florida because she's going to be in Miami next week.
Travel Florida, wherever it is, okay? Still applies. I'm not saying she should do that, but if she did, the Oilers are winning it, okay?
Look, here's what I'll say. Monday, the weekend's gonna be actually pretty fucking interesting. Yes, for Monday action, just flat out period. Give me the Oilers. Give me Italy also over Croatia. Yes. Yes.
Name one Croatian player, Robbie, real quick.
I don't give a fuck, bro. I was stationed in Italy twice now.
Hey, wait. I know my rights.
Italian citizen, like
did Italy win last night
and everything. Like
I don't think we did.
I'm sticking with Team Italy. And look, I don't want to, and this could probably. I might put these picks all on the same card. I don't know, but maybe Robert Whittaker. I'm not a Robert Whittaker fan.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Leafs. Fucking Italy lost to Spain. What are we talking about?
I know, but I don't care. I'll never
fucking care. You care.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Yeah. Oh yeah. Croatia's definitely going to put on a masterclass. They have every time that they faced us, but I don't care. I'll be donating this.
Croatia is supposed to be pretty good at soccer, right?
Fucking get Mbappe's damn face mask. Please get Mbappe the Rip Hamilton face mask and get back out there.
Is his face fucked up?
Yeah, he got yeah. His nose.
Damn, I know him. He's a stud. That dude's a fucking
Yo, you know the highest paid soccer player in the world, but yeah.
I know that. You know?
He wanted
least
them.
Yeah.
I'm not that lobotomized. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the crew. It's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboys and girls, what to do. I hope that you all get some hot this weekend.
Hey.
Can we get a counter for how many Hawk like drops we've had on this show?
Hawk
Yeah, I think we reached the century mark right
I think Taco's the only one that didn't do it because his boss is just the other side of the camera.
No, it's because
Cheers to me.
on the other side of the camera.
Cheers to you. All the Rumboys and girls, what to do, dilly.
He's going to be in the YouTube chat like
Taco.
Taco.